Hello everybody, it's Andrew Thiel here, and I'm really sorry for not making a video in such a long time. Because I have so much to talk about over what has happened in the span of time since I haven't made a video, I'm gonna just separate into two different videos. So, you don't have to watch a very large video. I think it would make it a lot better. So, part one, the U.S. life expectancy fell. This is 3 weeks, a month ago. I'm sorry for not reporting the news earlier. Been pretty busy lately, but it's not an excuse. But the U.S. life expectancy fell again because of suicides and drugs, um, the overdoses. So that's a problem that hopefully can be fixed, and hopefully it can stabilize and go back up soon. The Trump administration released a climate report around Thanksgiving and Black Friday. He tried to hide it and like put it under the rug, but thankfully some analysts and reporters found it and analyzed it, and now we see that the profound effects that will happen because of climate change, like billions of dollars being lost towards the later part of the century if things don't change. And Trump didn't even want to talk about the climate report. He denies the climate report, and it's very pathetic. But his own administration released a damning climate report, so that was a big deal. Um, the Secretary of Defense, Mattis, said that Putin tried to interfere in the midterms. There's a lot of evidence. Well, there's more and more evidence that um, Russia tried to interfere also in the midterms, like they did in the 2016 election. And yeah, it's a big deal for Secretary of Defense to say that. George H.W. Bush died uh, maybe 2 weeks ago. He had a nice memorial in Washington, D.C. Trump, Ivanka, well, and Trump, Ivanka, Michelle, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, and the Clinton, Bill and Hillary Clinton were some of the people there. So between Clinton, W. George W. Bush, Obama, and Trump, there were four presidents, there, and it was a pretty good event. The only problem was that Trump was like the outlier, and he didn't really act respectfully. He had his arms crossed, and he acted like a child. And with all the things he's saying with kneeling, it's kind of ironic for him to act the way he did, but he acted very inappropriately to George H.W. Bush's funeral. And George H.W. Bush, before he died, said that Trump should come because it was the right thing to do. And he, like George McCain, was a war hero. Um, he almost died when he was younger by his plane getting shot down, and he ended up um, going in Congress, and he tried for a long time to become president, and he did. And under his presidency, things like the Berlin Wall coming down and the Soviet Union dispersing, but he never really liked to, boast his achievements, and he ended up losing his re-election to Bill Clinton, actually, who's there. Um, I think he underestimated him. I watched a documentary about it when he died. Um, because I really didn't know too much about George H.W. Bush before, but he lost. I think he lost his re-election because he underestimated Bill Clinton because during his campaign the scandals came out of him having affairs with women. He probably didn't think that someone like that would win the office, but they did. And but he was a really great guy, and he was a great leader for this country. He was focused on international effects, and I think he did benefit the economy slower than he wanted to, but still helped the economy by the time he went out of office. So he did a lot in 4 years, and yeah, a great tribute to George H.W. Bush and to his family, especially George W. Bush and his siblings and family, for his mom and dad dying in the same year. It's pretty hard. I can imagine. Um, Next with Paul Manafort, they said that he lied 5 times, and he hasn't really cooperated with the Mueller investigation, so doesn't seem like it's going to be good for him. And Mueller protected Flynn, like giving an immunity plea, saying that like he's cooperating a lot with the investigation, unlike Manafort, and he's doing a good job. And okay, so the G20 summit, there was a lot going on with the Mueller investigation, and Mueller made some bold moves before the G20 summit that happened in Argentina. So Trump had that on his mind, and had some sissy fits, and a video came out of him, like, well, he greeted the Argentinian president, but or sorry, Argentinian prime minister, but they were supposed to take more time for pictures, and he ended up just leaving him there, um, and you could hear on his microphone him saying, "Get me out of here." So that's the respect that Donald Trump has, if you didn't already know. And then talk about two bad guys seeing each other, Saudi Arabia and Russia. Putin and the Prince of Saudi Arabia um, were very excited to see each other. I would recommend watching that video if you want to realize how bad times have gotten um, between those countries and how bad it could get. Um, you know, don't care that the cameras were on them. They were very excited to see each other, and it's very scary stuff because they're two bad people that will kill journalists and do some shady stuff, and they're happy to see each other. And then as a side note, which is pretty funny, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, he knew that Trump didn't like being called Donald, I guess because it doesn't make him feel as good, like instead of being called president or whatever. So when they were standing next to each other, he called him Donald. You could see his face. It was a funny reaction. So that's part one. I'm going to be making part two right after this one comes out. So you won't have to wait. But I hope you guys like the video. Please give the video a like if you did like it, enjoy. Um, and please subscribe if you want to see more content. Because it will be coming out pretty regularly. Thank you for watching. Bye.